Yes, of course, and but I see over here when we talk about the current situation, I think inflation is driven more because of the rupee devaluation as well, and that comes out to be a government policy or the state bank policy. And I think, for example, they just got a package of 4.2 billion US dollars from Saudi Arabia, and
Yeah.
if the government had decided to go ahead with it maybe 2 months back. So the speculation element which includes the exporters and the importers and the other speculators in the market, they would have slowed down, and this dollar might not have been touched 175. So it comes out to the government policy and how they want to control things. And we were talking about regulation in the essential commodity. I think, during the first year of this government, Shahbaz Sharif Saab on the, assembly floor talked about the, Charter of Economy, I think twice or thrice, and he offered the government that we should sit together and, and that is the need of the day. It has to be done, it should be done. But sadly, the Prime Minister was in no mood to have any conversation on any issue, be it electoral reforms, be it Charter of Economy, be it Corona. The Parliamani, the Secretary, the National Assembly Speaker set up a committee, and Imran Khan, after his speech on Corona, he left the meeting. And the opposition was stunned that...
Rana Sahab, the corona element, I think by and large there seems to be agreement that the government handled better. I don't know how the opposition will look at it. Whether, you want to give it climate or whatever conditions you want to give it.
I'm talking about polarization in the country, and the fact that the opposition and the government cannot sit.
Right, okay. But if the government was at this time, in your opinion, agree to that kind of economic charter, you think that principally the PMLN is not opposed to it, and also, of course, as far as the Prime Minister is concerned, he's saying that if you bring back the money, of course, which is something what the PTI has always said. They've always stood for that kind of according to the Prime Minister, he says accountability. Bring back the money, and then that will fuel the economy.
What type of a statement is bring back the money? You're the Prime Minister, you have the prosecution, the investigation gated agencies in your hand. You bring it back. If there is any illegality, you prove it. So I think these sort of lame statements when you're in government, you just have 1.5 years left. Hopefully you'll be in opposition next time. Will you be saying the same things in the opposition as you're saying in the government? I mean, you should take some sort of responsibility. So but right now the question whether we'd be willing to sit for a charter of economy,
okay, are you not saying the same things you were saying when you were part of the government, now that you're in the opposition?
No, if there is any illegality done by any leaders of the opposition, the government should not be requesting, they should be proving it.
Okay.
They should be taking action on it, and nothing has been proved, and nothing has been, by NAB or SIA, no conclusion has been reached. So I think, by requesting or by, making these lame statements, nothing is going to improve or anything, no result-oriented thing is going to come out of it. But on the Charter of Economy, we feel that it is too late for this government to sit with the opposition and come to a result. We would rather that this government, resigns and we go for a general election. Dr. Salman said that we need reforms, in the power sector. There have been no reforms apart from the fact that they're increasing the utility costs to cover the circular debt. There have been no reduction in losses. There have been no, work on decreasing the theft. So this government is not working on reforms. We would probably do better, as we did. We reduced the line losses. We reduced the theft in our time. There has been a reversal on both these things. Now, there was talk about exchange rate being totally free-floating. That has not been the case with PTI. They've intervened with $6 billion US, and yet they could not control what was happening with the exchange rate. I, for one, would feel that there has to be some intervention with the type of economy Pakistan has. If we completely leave it totally free floating, then the speculation element of Pakistan, the black economy, is so huge that it plays havoc with the exchange rate. And just look what happened recently. The $3 billion came and the speculators stopped. And all of a sudden there was, when people knew that the shortfall has been covered, or there are dollars enough to cover the current deficit, it was all of a sudden the dollar started stabilizing, the rupee started stabilizing. And one more point I would like to make. They blame us, PTI, that we left it in a mess. This current year, economists are saying that the current account deficit could touch 13-14 billion US dollars. The trade deficit could reach 45 billion US dollars. So we are in the same position as we were in 2018. What has PTI done to resolve it? And to your question, I would say that yes, if the government leaves and if a new government comes, probably it can also sustain the IMF talks. And I feel that it is the need of the day that we continue with the IMF, but we negotiate a better deal. We do not, we spread it across over time, the rate increase in electricity, and we add on reforms. So the impact of what the IMF wants, or what the government is stating it wants, in increase in utility prices, all of a sudden should be spread over time. So the economy and the people can absorb it. On the sugar and wheat crisis, the role of the government is similar as it was when PMLN was there. And we performed that role better and there was no crisis. And in the current scenario, the government has failed to perform. Ideologically speaking, yes, you would say that it should be market-based. But the reason why, there is a government, the provincial government role, be it ethnic role in sugar or wheat, is because it is to protect the public from massive price increases, which PTI has completely failed upon. So I feel here that it is more due to the incompetence of this government. There were similar regulations before, but things were not that bad.